Adventurous kids, explore with education and learning what a wild life is in the Everglades. I want to explore the Museum of Discovering Science. What plants do butterflies like? I want to know about Key West Adventurous Kids, learning and fun. Adventurous Kids!
Today I'm going to tell you about Duke Ellington. Duke Ellington was a U.S. pianist, composer, and band leader. Duke wasn't actually born a Duke. His real name was Edward Kennedy Ellington, but when he was young, his friends thought he was so polite and classy that they started calling him Duke, and the name stuck. Duke grew up in Washington, D.C., where he loved music, drawing, and playing baseball, but one day, when he heard a piano player performing in a cafe, he became fascinated with the instrument, and his musical journey began. Edward Kennedy Ellington was born on April 29, 1899 in Washington, D.C. He grew up in a secure middle-class family and loved baseball and art as a child. He was such a talented artist that he was awarded a scholarship to a school called the Pratt Institute, but he did not accept it. Instead, Ellington focused on music and began performing professionally at age 17. As a teenager, Duke taught himself to play the piano, practicing for hours until he could create sounds that made people stop and listen. He didn't play like everyone else. Instead, he mixed different rhythms, harmonies, and feelings to make music that was completely his own. By the time he was a young adult, he and his band called the Washington Oceans were performing at popular clubs, amazing audiences with their smooth, exciting style. By 1923, Ellington was in New York City leading a small band at the Hollywood Club. It reopened as the Kentucky Club after a fire in 1925. Ellington then moved to the Cotton Club in Harlem, a neighborhood in New York City. He led the band there from 1927 to 1932 and again from 1937 to 1938. He eventually expanded his band to 14 members. Many of his band members were exceptional musicians and important jazz artists themselves. Some of them stayed in Ellington's band for decades. Duke Ellington's big break came when he and his band were invited to play at a famous club in New York City called the Cotton Club. The club was known for stylish shows and big talent, and Duke's orchestra fit right in. Night after night, crowds came to hear the incredible music. Duke was a master at arranging songs, creating sounds that made people want to dance, dream, or just sit and listen. His tunes became so popular that they spread across the country by radio, turning Duke into a national star. What made Duke Ellington so special was the way he used everyday instrument in his band like a different color on a painter's palette. He blended trumpets, trombones, saxophones, and drums to create new and surprising musical colors that people had never heard before. He wrote more than 1,000 pieces of music, everything from catchy dance tunes to long, beautiful compositions that told stories. Some of his most famous songs include Mood Indigo, Take the A Train, and Don't Mean a Thing. As Duke Ellington grew older, he traveled all around the world performing his music. Audiences everywhere loved him, and he became known as one of the best composers and bandleaders of all time. Even after his passing in 1974, his music continues to inspire musicians and delight listeners of all ages. Today, Duke Ellington is remembered not just as a jazz legend, but as a creative genius who showed the world that music can paint pictures, tell stories, and bring people together. Ellington passed away on May 24, 1974. This was a few weeks after his 75th birthday. He was buried at the Woodlawn Cemetery in the Bronx, New York City. After Duke died, his son Mercer took over leading the orchestra. He continued until he passed away in 1996. So the next time you hear a smooth jazz melody or a swinging beat, think of Duke Ellington, the man who helped shape the sound of American music and showed everyone that creativity, Hard work and a love for music can take you very, very far. Thanks for watching this Adventurous Kids episode.
What did you learn today?
Adventurous Kids!
Adventurous Kids!
What was the most interesting fact?
Adventurous Kids!
Adventurous Kids!
Adventurous